Hello and welcome to the Wikipedia at 20 Africa's celebrations. My name is Winnie Kabinti from Kenya, and on behalf of my fellow organizers, Bobby Shabangu from South Africa and Justice Aloti from Kenya, we are so glad and pleased to have you here. Please, Justice and Bobby, please take a moment and say something.
Hello, guys, and thank you so much. Thank you so much, Winnie. For working together along with Justice to organize this event. I'm actually excited that we as Africans, we have been able to come together to celebrate, Wikipedia in our own way and the African way, and celebrate everyone. Then, the contributors of Wikipedia ourselves, actually. And the readers of Wikipedia and everyone that is there. And I'm really, really glad that we were able to pull this off at the end of the day. Thanks, and over to you, Justice.
Hello, everyone. My name is Justice. I'm a member of the Media User Group, and we are happy to be bringing this conversation. It's a fun time being an African Wikimedian. So we just want to have fun and see how the community in Africa sees Wikipedia and show the best things that we've done over the years. Thank you.
Thank you, Justice and Bobby. So as you said, we are very pleased. I can see people joining from all corners of Africa. I see people coming in from Ethiopia. Please engage with us from the chat box and just tell us where you are watching us from and just share your birthday wishes. We have an exciting lineup of activities lined up for this session. We have a moderated panel discussions. We have several presentations and videos collected from both Wikipedia editors and users as well. And of course, because it's a party, we also have a session where we are going to be making merry virtually as well. And so it's exciting. And so because this is Africa's celebrations, it won't kick off the right way before we give a jubilation the African way. So I'm going to take a special moment. In a count of 3, I will ask the guys who are joining us on the broadcast to just unmute ourselves. And in a count of 3, we're going to jubilate the African way. So in Justice, your mic is off. Bobby, yours is off. So I can still see your mics off. Please unmute yourselves. Nasima, your mic is off. Sandista, can see your mic is off. Euphemia, please turn on your microphones. And in a count of 3, we're going to jubilate the African way, depending on how we do it in our countries. So in 3, 2, 1. Thank you guys. Now you can all unmute.
Hi, Winnie. Can you unmute yourself?
I think you are muted, Winnie.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. Thank you for that. Sorry about that. I was just trying to read the comments just to give you an overview of the guys who are joining us. And I see Jemima here sharing her wishes. We have someone joining from Nigeria as well. So this is really, really, really great. I'm happy to see this. So we're going to start this off with a speech, a pre-recorded video from Catherine Mayer, who is the CEO of Wikipedia. Over to you, Andrew. Thank you.
Happy birthday. Happy 20 years of Wikipedia. I am so excited to be with you today celebrating Wikipedia's birthday. Well, not exactly with you, but I hope you know what I mean. With you in spirit, with you here, and marking this remarkable moment. It is hard to believe for me that it has been 20 years since Wikipedia first started with English Wikipedia. And throughout this year, we are going to have so many more milestones and birthdays to celebrate. There are 18 more versions of Wikipedia that celebrate 20 this year, and of course, many more in the years to come. So we're starting with 20 today, and the good news is we're going to get to keep going, celebrating our 20th birthday for some time to come. I think about these past 2 decades and how far Wikipedia has come from this encyclopedia that anyone could edit, this impossible, ambitious idea, this idealistic vision, into something that is so real. This platform and this knowledge that is used by so many hundreds of millions of people across the planet. Speaking of numbers and hundreds of millions, the numbers are really incredible. Today, Wikipedia has more than 55 million articles across nearly 300 languages, and over 1.5 billion unique devices visit our projects every single month. That represents hundreds of millions of people from every continent on the globe, yes, including Antarctica, coming to our projects, seeking knowledge. That is an incredible thing. It is an impossible thing to realize, and yet you have realized it. Because behind the numbers are the people who make up Wikipedia, all of you. We have grown into a global movement for free knowledge made up of communities from all over the globe, united by a shared sense of purpose, a common set of values. It's why when we walk into a room together with Wikipedians, even when we don't know each other, we know each other. We see one another for what we share. A sense of commitment to free knowledge, a belief that free knowledge can make the world a better place, and the passion to do this on behalf of a world who may not even understand how this all works. This last year was really hard. It was tragic for so many people. We lost our time, we lost our loved ones, we lost so much. But of course, even amidst this difficulty, Wikipedians were there. In the midst of a global pandemic, Wikipedians did what they do best. You stepped up and you ensured that the world had access to information as that information became available. Wikipedia exploded across all of our languages with more than 3,000 articles about the COVID-19 pandemic, all of them with an incredibly rigorous overview of what constitutes high quality knowledge, ensuring that people had access to the best possible public health information that they needed in a time where people needed that information. I am so in awe of all of the work that you have done to make that possible. You defended the importance of knowledge at a time when knowledge was a life or death question for the world. You are remarkable. And as we celebrate 20 years, I can't think of a better recognition of how incredible this community actually is. I mean that. So the work continues, right? We know 20 years is just 20 years, and the work that we do about knowledge is about knowledge, which spans all of human history, and actually well before humans walked this earth. There is knowledge yet from our past that is not captured in our projects, and there is knowledge yet ahead of us that we have yet to document, yet as humanity to even discover and explore. You as Wikimedians are going to be there for that. I know that in my bones. We are going to do this incredible work together. It makes me a little sad that we haven't been able to see each other for a while in person, and I know many of us haven't been able to see one another in person, our families, our communities, our wiki projects, the folks who make all of this possible. I was really hoping this year that we were going to be able to spend the time to celebrate our 20th birthday together. But as I said, the good news is that this is just the beginning of a celebration. We're going to celebrate here online, and then we are going to continue to celebrate all of the remarkable work that you do every single day until we can celebrate together in person at the end of this pandemic. And when we do, you mark my words, it will be a celebration. I am already as I said, just completely in awe of what you do. Wikipedians are remarkable. You are a reason that every single day when we wake up, there's a cause for optimism and joy in the world, to recognize what people can build when they build it together, to recognize what people can build when we share a set of values and a common purpose to serve a greater goal. It is what keeps me optimistic. We are confident that we can change the world because we already have. So, happy birthday. Happy birthday, Wikipedia. Happy anniversary to this idea. Thank you for making this community possible. Thank you for willing free knowledge and the force of your person and commitment. I'm so proud of all of you. What you do. Let us celebrate together. Happiest to us all.
Thank you, Catherine. And indeed, we are celebrating 20 years of resourcefulness, as someone has captured in the comments. And so we said this is a celebration, it's a party. And of course, it can't be a party without music. So I'm going to invite Bobby, who is going to entertain us with a session. Over to you, Bobby.
Thank you so much, Ms. Kavinti. I planned initially to do a song by someone, just to play a song that everybody knows. But I thought, no, that won't be fun, So I need to come up with something that is more, creative. As we all know that we are all Africans, and we're celebrating Wikipedia African style. And I then decided to play a tune by that I'm going to be doing a tune by Miriam Makeba, and I hope we all know Miriam Makeba. And the name of the song is Wikipedia, But I'm just gonna play around with it. So I'm gonna be playing piano. You may not see it right here in front of me, but it's here right in front of me. So yeah. So I'm gonna also try and sing as well. So it goes like this. Wikipedia, happy birthday, Wikipedia. Wikipedia, happy birthday, Wikipedia. Wikipedia is completely free. You can edit whenever you are. Today we celebrate Wikipedia. Happy birthday, Wikipedia. Wikipedia, happy birthday, Wikipedia. Wikipedia, happy birthday, Wikipedia. Thank you so much.
Whoa. Wow, that was absolutely lovely, Bobby. Thank you so much for that, Bobby. I hope we are going to get another piece as the program goes by. And so I had mentioned earlier that we're going to have a panel discussion, and I would like to take this moment to introduce our panel, and they are drawn from all corners of Africa. We have members from Tanzania, we have Ghana represented, we have Morocco represented, and so we'll welcome Sandista, who is also the Wikipedian of the Year. Yes, absolutely. That title also went to an Africa in this year. So we are very much pleased to have Sandista. We also have Anthony Mtavangu from Tanzania. We have Nasima from Morocco. We have Faith Manyolo from Kenya. and we have Bobby and Justice as well. And also, interestingly, something else that happened just recently is that we had Justice getting elected for a position in to represent the community. And we'll also be giving him a moment just to tell us more about that role and what it means for us as members of the African community in Wikipedia. So before I give the panelists the floor to take us through this other session, I want to invite Justice just to give us a few remarks and speak about his new role.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for having me once again. And so the new role basically talks about the Wikimedia brand conversation. So I think a few years ago, the Wikimedia movement decided to make some changes to its brand naming, what it refers to itself, what the foundation will be called, what other organizations or affiliates would also name themselves. And so I think somewhere last year, there were a series of branding sessions in different countries in the world. And so there was a stalemate as to the whole brand talks. And so the board of trustees of the Wikimedia Foundation decided to set up a board, a committee to take into account the various challenges people have with the branding process, and then advise the whole movement on the way forward. And so that was what I was elected as an African lead on the committee. And so basically, I'm going to be representing the African community on the brand committee by the board of trustees of the Wikimedia Foundation. Thank you.
Thank you, Justice, and congratulations once again. So I will move this to the Wikipedia of the year, and that's Sandista. Please tell us your full names, where you're from, and kick off the panel discussion by just giving us, telling us rather, what are some of your notable achievements since you joined the Wikimedia movement, how long you've been here, and what is your hopes for the future of Wikipedia?
Hi, so my name is Sandista. Ever since, so I joined the community in 2012. That would be 7 to 8 years ago. And for me, I always say that the biggest achievement, or what I would call a milestone, is starting anyway. It's not what I have done or what my community has done after we started the community in Ghana, but it's the starting. Because when we came into the picture, Africa south of the Sahara, it was South Africa, and we had heard of a Kenyan community trying to grow as well. There wasn't much south of the Sahara. So for me, joining Rexford and other people form a community is always what, whenever I sit and I think about the journey, it's always the starting point. That always does it for me. But ever since then, I mean, through efforts and recruitment and having diversity, various people coming in, different affiliates coming out, doing different things, venturing off into their own, among other things. I should say that I always use this word I call Ghanaian excellence. You see that in the movement. Ghanaians are everywhere in the movement, doing different things, being staff of Wikimedia Foundation. I mean, I recently joined the community relations specialist team. So I see all of that growth. It's pretty exciting. And for me, the future, I think I just see Africans contributing more, because still we are a part of that side of the world that doesn't record as much edits as elsewhere. So I would want that. I mean, there are reasons for this, and the earlier we get around those reasons, some of which are not just entirely dependent on movement people, but also on governments. But I'm just hopeful that a point will come, or a time will come where Africans are able to contribute just as much, because we have so much to offer, and Wikipedia certainly needs that kind of diversity in the content. It's objective content, but you still need different people from different places coming together to put it together, so it doesn't skew in one direction. So for me, that's the hope. And then also is that Wikipedia thrives, because without Wikipedia, I mean, we're all not here. And so that Wikipedia thrives, it grows, the infrastructure becomes better, the entry levels are lower, not in terms of the quality, but that the community is friendly, more people are able to join without being harassed, the software, everything. It makes it easier to contribute, because if you are going to build a sum of human knowledge, contribution must be easy. If you're going to build the sum of human knowledge, it has to be sustainable. So I'm just hoping that Wikipedia thrives. And in the years to come, we're still part of the wiki. And next 20 years, and more, another 20, in whatever shape or form it exists in, the key thing is that Wikipedia thrives. I hope I got all the questions.
Thank you, Sandista. I like the emphasis on the important thing is getting started anyway. That's really powerful. And I'm inspired by your accolade, actually, coming at a time when we are trying to bridge the gender gap in Wikipedia. So your win was a win for all women contributors in Wikipedia. So congratulations once again. So from Ghana, we move to Tanzania, and welcome, Anthony. Please share your experiences in the Wikipedia community, how long you've been there, and some of your notable achievements as well. Thank you.
All right, so thank you so much, Winnie, for this opportunity. My name is Antoni Mtavangu from Tanzania, and I'm a co-founder of Wikimedia Community User Group Tanzania. So as part of achievement, I'd say the good thing, which I think I did, was co-founding the group, which is Wikimedia Community User Group Tanzania, because back in 2016, we didn't have an official user group that is recognized by Wikimedia Foundation that extends different projects within our country. So from 2017, that's where I got to recruit most of the members who joined our group. And since then, we have been hosting different editathons and workshops that aimed at expanding the capacity of these people to participate in different Wikimedia Foundation projects. And some of them we have done in Tanzania includes Wiki Loves Africa, Wiki Loves Women, which was done in 2019. And it had a huge interest with most of the people, because they thought gender gap was a big problem in our country as well. And another project which we have implemented includes One Lib, One Ref, one librarian contributing reference to Wikipedia, Afroscene, Wiki Loves Earth, WPWP, Wikipedia pages wanting photos. And as well, we have been able to participate in different movement strategy towards Wikimedia 2030. And as well, something which I can be proud of is in all these projects, we have been able to add or expand most of the Swahili Wikipedia contents by adding more articles, improving the existing one, and so on. And maybe I can share a little bit of the challenges which we face in Tanzania. One is volunteers retention. Sometimes you can get a lot of people to engage on these activities, but at some time they perish, although some of them they do remain, but we have that challenge. And another thing is internet. Sometimes that's the barrier for editing Wikipedia and related projects. And sometimes we have people with knowledge and capability or profession to contribute to Wikipedia, but unluckily, they don't have volunteering heart. When you tell them this is the volunteering activity, they perish. Another challenge which we face is on COVID-19, which is the big barrier for in-person gatherings, and some people, they don't get much of the lessons or knowledge about editing Wikipedia by using online platforms. So they understand better through in-person gatherings. So COVID-19 has been a challenge because we have been halting some of the in-person gatherings. And maybe lastly, what are we hoping for, or what are we looking forward as a milestone? First of all, for this year, we are looking forward to register our user group so that it can become something recognizable by the government or by the authorities, so we can do more projects and do more outreach programs to the areas which we have not reached yet within our country, and as well to strengthen cooperation among the East African countries and the Wikimedians, and basically any kind of affiliate from any country across the world. And finally, maybe to become a chapter. That's the milestone we are looking forward. Thank you, Winnie.
Wow, Anthony, that's great. Thank you for that elaborate input, and those are quite notable achievements. And I must say, if I don't say this here, I don't know where else I will say it again. Anthony has been one of these established Wikipedians who really holds the hand of newbies, and I think I actually owe my involvement in the movement to Anthony. He held my hand, even though we are from two different regions. I think for us, it's not COVID that made us start doing these virtual trainings. It's the geography that necessitated that, because he's in Tanzania and I'm in Kenya, but he's that one Wikipedian who held my hand, and yeah, I'm contributing to the movement courtesy of him. So thank you so much, Anthony, for that. So from Tanzania, we moved to Morocco, and we have Nassim. So Nassim, welcome, and also please share with us your notable achievements since you joined the community and your challenges as well.
Thank you, Winnie. So hello, everyone. I'm Nassima from Morocco. And although I'm 100% Moroccan, I feel a strong sense of belonging to the whole African continent. So I joined Wikipedia in September 2018 with one and only purpose, which is documenting the African heritage. And since then, I started to create and implement thematic projects about the heritage in many African countries. 2020, to be honest, it was my lucky year because I could implement 3 projects and also create Wiki World Heritage user group, which will work all over the continent and the countries that are underrepresented in Wikimedia. So I will share my screen to show you some examples of our activities. Can you see it?
Yes, we can, Nassima.
Okay. So I will start with the example of Wiki, which is a project that aims to document traditional villages in 5 North African countries: Morocco, Algeria, Tunisia.
Sorry, Nassima, I don't know if it's just from my end, but I think your tab, you've minimized the tab that has your screen. Yes, now we can see it well. Great.
Okay. Do you see the Wiki website? Or a map with the African countries?
Yes, we can.
So, excuse me. It's not the right screen.
Sorry, it's not the right slide?
Yeah, it's not the right one.
All right. So do you have it ready, or do I move it to another panelist and then we get back to you?
It's okay.
That's okay?
Yes.
Okay, sorry about that. I think we will move this to Bobby. Welcome, Bobby. Oh, I see it here. So,
are you able to see it now?
Right.
Okay.
Yes, it's fine because it's already on our screens. Bobby, sorry, just let's give Nasima a minute.
So Wiki Tour is about documenting the traditional villages in 5 North African countries. And in order to promote created content, articles and photos about these villages, and also to give an appealing content to the users, we created this website, which presents all the traditional villages geolocated located on this map. And also it presents the available articles on the different Wikipedias in French, Arabic, and English. Another project is about African World Heritage Cities. On the African World Heritage Day, we launched an editathon about 25 African World Heritage cities in 15 countries in order to document the monuments and buildings that compose the city. And we created an inventory of 1,000 monuments and buildings with references in order to create articles. During this project, we noticed that less than 2% of the created articles were about the monuments and buildings of the countries that do not have a Wikimedia user group. So we decided to create and to co-found Wiki World Heritage user group, which will be working on documenting the World Heritage sites of the countries that do not have a local affiliate through finding local partners in these countries. We were motivated to create this group because, especially in Africa, many countries, as you can see, do not have a local affiliates. And in consequence, their heritage remained very underrepresented on Wikimedia. So I believe that if we, as Africans, we should not focus only on our countries, but on the continent as a whole, because if we do not document our heritage, who is gonna do that? Thank you.
Thank you so much, Nasima, for that input. That was really, really great. So we're going to move to South Africa. And Bobby, are you ready?
Yes, certainly, I'm ready. And thank you so much, Winnie, for this opportunity. And my name is Bobby, and I am from South Africa. And I am currently the sitting president of the chapter, the Wikimedia South African chapter. We are the only chapter here in the African continent, and we are hoping, as Anthony has highlighted, that we have more chapters, as an African continent. One of the roles that was a highlight, or I need to start what excites me to be a Wikipedian, the journey. Wikipedia for me really has played a very big role in many ways, in ways that I did not see. But eventually I find out that it was actually my daily life, part and parcel of my life. I was a radio producer at some point for the national radio station. And what has happened was that every time when I was creating content for my presenters, I would go online. I was thinking that I was Googling like everybody else, only to find out later on that Wikipedia almost always was the first link. And lo and behold, some few years down the line, I met a Wikipedian in Johannesburg when I moved to Johannesburg. And he officially introduced me to Wikipedia. That's when I knew that there's a whole wide world that is happening out there. And from there, I joined the chapter. That's really how I joined. I joined the chapter while not even having experience of editing. So my colleague really helped me. His name is Dumzani Ndubani. I think a lot of us know him here. And from there, really the journey has been really fantastic and exciting. One of the highlights that has happened was that there are, I think, about 2 or 3 times where I created articles, Wikipedia articles, only for those articles to be read out in the national TV station, for the whole country. And that's when I realized the impact really of Wikipedia, that as a Wikipedian, we are not just only Wikipedians, but we can set the tone of what is happening with regards to providing content for the news. So that really encouraged me, and I continued strongly from there. One of the challenges that we have as a chapter is attracting new users. We have a lot of experienced users here in South Africa, but we don't necessarily attract, especially users from the Black majority. And most of the users are from the Afrikaans Wikipedia and the English Wikipedia, and they are white male. So this is one of the things that we want to try and tackle, going forward, as a chapter, and grow the number of females as well. A lot of African user groups and thematic groups are struggling with finding sponsorship and collaborating with or partnering with GLAM institutions. It's not like that in South Africa. We have a lot of GLAM institutions that wants to partner with us, but we don't have a lot of volunteers that are able to do outreach, that wants to go out there and collaborate with them and reach out to them. And we have a lot of potential in that regard in South Africa. And one of the things, bringing in the Wikipedians, especially the ones that are from the townships and the small language Wikipedias, is to strengthen that part, to not only focus on improving the online part of Wikimedia, but also to improve the advocacy part, as well as improving the partnership part. So going forward, we are looking to improve in those areas, and we're looking to strengthen those areas as well. Thank you so much. Over to you, Winnie.
Thank you, Bobby, for that elaborate inputs. I like that you discussed the area of partnerships, because in the second session of this panel, we are going to have Rudolph, who is the Wikimedia Foundation Partnerships lead for Sub-Saharan Africa. So I think he's going to be sharing a bit of input on that. And I think for anyone who is joining us online on YouTube and the other platforms, you could also share your questions to the panelists by the comment sections. But for now, we will take a bit of a break. Not really, like we're not going to leave, but we're going to take a break from the panel discussion and move into a session where we're going to have a few video inserts that are recorded from members of the Wikipedia communities from different parts of Africa. Enjoy. So please be sure to engage with us. We would like to hear your thoughts. Any recommendations you have, you can always channel them in the comment sections, and we will be keen on reading them. Great. So I think we will move this to the Q&A session. So I'll be taking questions from the audience to our panelists. And maybe I can kick off one of the questions to Nasima. Nasima, we understand the gender gap issue is a big challenge in the Wikipedia community. Is that a situation that you experience in your country as well?
Yes, actually, I can say that I was the first very active Wikimedian in Morocco, female Wikimedian. And this year we have more females, but we still have a huge gap between the two genders. And I believe this problem is experienced in the majority of African countries, and correct me if I'm wrong.
Sorry?
I believe the gender gap is experienced in the majority of African countries. I witnessed this in Morocco, but also in like in the whole movement in the Indaba community.
Okay. Do you have some interventions that you're trying to input in your community just to address this challenge?
To be honest, I just try at a personal level. I try to present Wikipedia and Wikimedia to my female friends and attract them to join the movement. I succeeded with 2 or 3, but I am still trying to attract more people.
Thank you. Sandista, what are your thoughts on this?
I also joined Wikimedia Ghana, or then planning Wikimedia Ghana at a time where there weren't many female participants. I think I was the only active woman at the time. And ever since then, I think what we have done or we do at our events is we just give equal opportunity to people. But of course, personally, I remember telling people back then that, hey, I'm the only active female around here and it gets a bit lonely, so if you want to join. And anytime there was a woman in there, I tried to make her feel comfortable. I mean, in the spirit of sisterhood, we get together and we talk. And so I've even formed friendships.
Sorry, Sandista, we are losing you a bit.
Is it better now? Oh no. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can. It's a bit distorted, but we can hear you.
Okay, so what I was saying is that, and through that, I even have friends, like lifelong friendships now. But also, whenever there's an opportunity, like arts and feminism, to hold events, to emphasize or to stress on participation of women and also writing more biographies about women, we don't miss an opportunity. My community doesn't miss an opportunity to do that. So yes, I totally identify with what she said. At a point in Wikimedia Ghana, I also felt like I was like the only person, a woman there, or a very active woman there. So I can totally relate. But it's all about reaching out, and whenever there are global events like upcoming March, Arts and Feminism is coming on. There was Wiki Loves Women. People should just get interested, and that could be the point where we bring more women into the movement and also get to write or put out more content about women. And I think next up, we should also think about photographing more women as well, because I know we are writing lots of biographies and there should be also a focus or special projects just looking at photography for the articles that we create about these notable women.
Thank you, Sandista, for your thoughts. I'll just take a quick read of some of the questions or remarks that are popping up on the chat section. And we have Sadiq from Wikipedia Hausa, Nigeria, or rather Sadiq from Nigeria. He's looking for someone from the Wikipedia Hausa community in Nigeria. Please connect me with someone. So that is noted, Sadiq. We have Nigeria represented here, and someone will be in touch with you. Maybe you can leave us your email address. And we have another user here from Kenya, and he's commenting to Bobby. He's called Vector Project from Kenya. Patrick PLO Lumumba speaks cogently on this, Bobby. So PLO is one of the learned Kenyans we have, and we have Phoebe. We have Phoebe Ayers, and she's saying, I'm curious about the challenges participants face in teaching others how to edit Wikipedia. What are the most difficult aspects? And this, I will definitely throw it to one of my greatest trainers, Anthony.
Okay, so thank you, Winnie. If I got well, the question asks, I'm curious about the challenges participants face in teaching others how to edit Wikipedia. What are the most common difficult aspects? Well, so I might say the first thing is perception. Most of the people, they think editing Wikipedia needs like a strong background on programming and something like that, or being a computer guru, things like that. So they have like a wrong perception, like they think they are not enough to learn how to edit Wikipedia. And the second thing is most of the people, they know Wikipedia, but they don't know if they can be part of that. They don't know if they can be the one who creates or adds or improves the content they see. And the third thing in my aspect is sometimes lack of tools that are specific or that can fit for the editing Wikipedia, because sometimes, let's say, creating articles, if you teach someone by using a mobile phone, it's a bit of challenge unless he or she has the laptop, and most of them, they don't have that. So tools sometimes is a challenge. Maybe those challenge in my case. Winnie?
Thank you, Anthony, for that. And I'm glad that you raised the issue of the interface, because I think that is one of the areas that are currently in discussion in the Wikimedia 2030 strategy. And I think the area on improving user experience is one of the areas that were cited largely, especially by African communities. And yesterday there was a discussion on that. So we are glad to see, or rather we are working towards contributing suggestions on how that can be improved. So yes, definitely this is an area that we hope will not be a challenge in the coming years. We have Annette David, and she's asking, it's really hard to recruit and retain female contributors. It is important to find ways to bridge this gap. What are your thoughts on this, Bobby, especially from a male perspective?
Yeah, I really would agree with that 100% actually. I can even see this here in South Africa. It's the same thing. You know, we've got almost 60 million people, and 10% of the population, it's white people. And when we look at the population of South Africa, it's mostly, you know, female. But you find out that most of the females that are there, they actually consume Wikipedia, but they don't contribute on Wikipedia. So I hope that we find time later on, you know, to play some of the videos, because it worried me that so much. That worried me so much that I even went to the streets, you know, and asked people, why aren't you, you know, editing on Wikipedia? And what do you understand about Wikipedia? Why aren't you editing on Wikipedia? And the answers were very interesting. But to those who we managed to teach Wikipedia, you find that somehow they don't want to continue with Wikipedia. Number one is because of data. You know, they feel that data is very expensive and they cannot really continue. Number two is the problem of the interface. They feel that the interface is not user friendly, especially around phones, because a lot of people don't have laptops. Yeah, especially those ones who are coming from townships and previously disadvantaged communities in South Africa. So number three, there's this thing of maybe it's my experience, I don't know, but whenever there is a space and there is a lot of men there, somehow that scares the women away, you know. I think there should be just one girl or two girls or two females or like 5 or 10 females that are there in that space that will cause some sort of like a domino effect or a snowball effect to bring more females. But if one lady or two ladies are in an edit workshop and then you find out that the majority is men, those ladies will not continue. And when you ask them at the end, you find out that they said, I don't want to continue because I know why it's the reason. It's because there were a lot of men there, you know. So in South Africa, what we do is to be deliberate with our edit workshops. We tend to run edit workshops that are focusing mainly on females. You know, we go to school or university and just focus on females so that it's more, you know, comfortable for everyone, you know, who's there. One of the other things that we have planned to do, and that we've noticed actually that is happening, is that this issue of retention, activation and retention. We, as a chapter, we've had administrators, employees. We are working with employees, you know, and people that are providing service providers for us, like that are providing services for us, like bookkeepers, you know, auditors, and we've had in the past an administrator. And I've noticed about one thing about that administrator that we had. When she came, she did not know anything. She knew nothing about Wikipedia. We taught her how to edit on Wikipedia, and when her contract ended, I noticed that she's still continuing editing on Wikipedia, you know, and I thought that was very important. So one of the things that we're going to be doing this year, it's an experiment that we want to do, is to bring interns, you know, and be deliberate about it, advertise for Black females who are at university, who are about to finish. That will empower them in terms of skilling them in terms of their work, you know, experience, giving them work experience because they've already worked for the chapter. But number two, we will teach them how to edit on Wikipedia, on Meta, you know, because they're going to be running the administration of the chapter. And then number three, you know, it will also empower them, you know, in terms of knowing about, you know, Wikipedia and what is happening. But what we are aiming to achieve at the end is to activate them, you know, is to see if they're going to stop editing, if they're going to be with the chapter for 6 months, you know, and is to see whether they're going to stop, you know, editing. So we're looking forward to that experiment of how it's going to work. Thanks. Over to you, Winnie.
Thank you, Bobby, for that. You know, it's interesting. You say that there are more men in your community and then ladies run away. Actually, for Kenya, it's the other way around. So we have more ladies and we have few gentlemen. So the men run away. So maybe we should do an exchange program, South Africa versus Kenya, and balance the gender issue. Anyway, there's also another comment here, and I'll pass it over to Justice, and then we will close this panel discussion. So there's, the name is difficult to pronounce, but it says, he or she says, are Wikipedia pages optimized enough from your point of view so that it's possible to edit them also if the internet connection has a low bandwidth? Justice?
Yeah, so to that, I think yes, Wikipedia can be edited even on low bandwidth internet. It's just that when you want to use commons or upload images, and with that, it depends the size of the image and the pixels of it. But apart from that, I think with very low internet bandwidth, you can actually edit Wikipedia from everywhere. There used to be a program which is no more, Wikipedia Zero, where certain networks were given free access to Wikipedia in certain African countries. I think the program got shut down, and that there was thinking of a new way to help affiliates in Africa with very low internet have access. And so far, I don't know if they've been able to do that, but I think if you have very low bandwidth internet, you should be able to at least be able to edit certain minimal things in Wikipedia without any struggle. Thank you.
Thank you, Justice, for that. So thank you so much to our panelists for your contributions. It was really nice having you. I see a lot of comments still coming in, so we're going to be answering them in the next session. But for now, please allow me to close this session because we need to move on to the next one. Thank you so much. I do appreciate your time. For now, we are going to move on to a session of videos, and then we are going to get into the second panel discussion with a different panelists altogether.
Hi, everyone. Happy 20th birthday, Wikipedia. My name is Anastasia. I'm a contributor from Tanzania. I'm an editor at Wikipedia Swahili and Wikipedia English. I'm also an admin for Wikipedia Swahili. I joined Wikipedia about 2 years back because I subscribe to the same mission of making knowledge freely and openly available to all people. Knowledge is power, and Wikipedia has brought that power back to the people. In times of crisis, people look for a reliable source of information that may help them navigate the crisis. For example, the current COVID-19 pandemic, people turn to Wikipedia a lot because they trust Wikipedia as a reliable source of information. We use Wikipedia so much in our daily lives. I use Wikipedia a lot as a student, and I continue to use Wikipedia today while I also build Wikipedia. I am excited for the next 5-10 years to come, and I look forward to making more productive engagements and contribution at Wikipedia. Also, I look forward to seeing all of you in person when we finally beat this pandemic. Thank you.
أموليا مقازة ويكيبيديا يرنا وسقاس وتوغال ذا مقرن
عيثما السويثما زول خوام سيتي مغي مرة كنيو جنا سقاس تصبحان ذا ميمون سمرة من تخسان إن شاء الله رباح الخير كلشي من يصبح
عوتا يبوركم ويكيبيديا نتارجع مسينا وتكم ودم تغهرت وايو غوصيا إن شاء الله
لحيت نسوس غير المغرب ردونيني أسقاس مباركي أسقاس مباركي ويكيبيديا لي دريدنا غيلان منا ويسقاسنايا أسقاس مباركي.
السلام عليكم خوتي أسقاس مكازي ويكيبيديا إن شاء الله كل أسقاس وننس الخير العقوبة 100 سنة إن شاء الله بارك الله فيك.
Birthday Wiki Wikipedia
أسقاس مكاز ويكيبيديا تنمير الزول في اللهون دونك أمول قرزن ويكيبيديا إن شاء الله 100 سنة ورزات إن شاء الله.
يا رفد الفوشي يوما يا ولي زنقو يهيس يا ولي زنقو يهيس
أسف لهم إذا مش كان حنا في ويكي أدرس أغلب زي بسرعة أنا تعمل بشر المالية على بروجي أنزل بس الفيديو المختلف
يا ولي زنقو يهيس بعضهم علاوة من الهام يسنسر غيس ناتش الشحوي واقي اللي غدا وحركات حرارة دا وحركات
بصوا على الوضع خير من ضفن فاتح أنا مش خير الإنجليزية حوس سيسكين 30 اولا WT كتبيان البروجي ديالنا نخدم ديس SHY كتبيان نازم نخلي دوثاي اقدر انكتبيس
تسجيل الطواش لازم برك تعمر الفراغ قدام وكهم الاسم لاباس اسمه سقداش لخاطرك شي خديمه ديال الموسم
فتح لا ويكيميديا انكيباتور من كي تمرد الترنيب الاول تشابي في ديس
Oh, wow. Isn't that amazing? That is indeed amazing. So in this next session, I'm going to hand it over to the Wikimedia Foundation Partnership Lead for Sub-Saharan Africa. He's called Rudolph, and then he's going to take it from here. Welcome, Rudolph.
Hello, Winnie. Hello, everyone. I'm really happy to be here celebrating the 20th birthday of Wikipedia with you all. Great. So I guess one of the things that I wanted to talk about was what the partnerships team at the Wikimedia Foundation does, and also highlight some of my work and give some insights, because I saw some of the conversations around recruitment, retention of editors or contributors to Wikipedia. So maybe some of the things that we are working on at the partnerships team could potentially complement the work that the affiliates in Africa are doing. So just a bit of background, the partnerships team leads Wikimedia Foundation's efforts to secure and maintain strategic partnerships with global and regional institutions, leading tech companies, governments, and members within the open source community to support the vision of the foundation and the amazing work that the movement is doing to make the world a better place through free and open knowledge. I joined the foundation a little over a year ago, and the one thing that was evident to me was the level of participation of Africans on Wikimedia projects. The African community has, throughout the existence of Wikipedia and other projects, worked to ensure that Africa is represented in these projects. But more importantly, making sure that knowledge is available by Africans, for Africans, and represented in the right way. And this is something, when I was joining, I was really passionate about, and it forms the core of some of the motivations for me as I pursue partnerships to complement the work that the affiliates and the foundation is doing. And so when you normally ask me what I do at the foundation, this is generally what I do. Like many of you and your passions, I draw energy from that whenever I'm going out there to seek partnerships. You could say I work behind the scenes, focusing on seeking partnerships that amplify the work of the community and empower more and more Africans to contribute to this massive project across Africa. And globally, because when you think about Wikipedia, you not only think about Africa, but you think about the global audience that has access to the knowledge that are produced through the various projects. And so one of the things that we've been able to do within Africa was to leverage on a product that was designed by the product team called Inuka. They call that Wikipedia Preview. And so what we did was we were able to secure a partnership with an organization called Right for Education that has over 6 million views from Africa. And what Wikipedia Preview does is it enables people get contextualized knowledge on specific words as they go through other websites. And so the thought was, how do you reach people where they are? And that has been some of the motivations for the product team. And so that has been, some of the things that we've done. But as we move on through the conversations, I would definitely highlight some of the partnerships that really touch on bringing in new contributors, focusing on retention, making sure that you're getting high level participations from new people, however, through that partnership funnel. Yeah.
Rudolph, for that. That is really, really great, especially coming at a time where we are celebrating Wikipedia at 20 from the continent. I think in this second session, before we move to the second panel discussion, we're going to have some videos as well play as we take more questions and thoughts from the comment section. So I'll hand it over to Andrew to share with us some videos. Guys, please feel free to continue sharing your thoughts, your questions, any suggestions, recommendations in the comment section. And we will be sure to highlight those that we can. And also, we have other users who are also responding to some of the queries from the chat section. Thank you. I see someone asking, why is there a geographic distinction when talking about Africa? You used Southern Sahara Africa. It sounds racist, African versus Arab. Is that a query you want to respond to, Rudolph?
Sure. And being African and living on Africa, one of the things that I believe is a unified Africa, so drawing no distinctions. However, when you look at Africa in general, it has a number of countries in there, and the has different cultural elements to it. And so I come from West Africa, but I've had that experience. So when you look at Ghana, Nigeria, Cote d'Ivoire, Burkina Faso, and other countries within that area of Africa, I have good experience working in that space, and I've had the opportunity to work in other parts of Africa. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to get that experience in the northern part of Africa. And so the intention is not to be racist, but the intention is to ensure that we have the right people working within the right geographical context, addressing the nuances within each African country. And so that distribution enables us to focus primarily on in sub-Saharan Africa and North MENA. So that's Middle East and North Africa. However, when we are working internally, we work as a unit, share experiences, share knowledge. But this is generally what the situation is, and we are continuously revising how we define some of these things so that we have a better approach to working on the continent. And so I do feel understand where you're coming from. These are some questions I've asked myself, but over time some of these narratives and descriptions will change, and hopefully we will not be feeling this way. So if we've touched on some nerves, kindly we do apologize for that, but this is something we are continuously working towards.
Great, thank you for that. So we're just moving into the videos.
Njengokuba uWikipedia ebhiyozela iminyaka engamashumi 20, ndivuyisana nani ndithi maze nekhole, ze niyibambe ningayiyeki.
Veel geluk met de verjaardag Wikipedia. Ons kyk uit na die volgende 20 suksesvolle en voorspoedige jare. Lekker verjaar.
Sanibonani, sifisela iWikipedia minyaka lemihle ikhulu sithi happy 20th birthday, iqhubeke nemsebenzi omuhle. Sibonga kakhulu nakubo bonke ababamba iqhaza ekutheni bafake imininingwane efanele lento sifundisa sibe nelwazi. Sifisa okuhle kakhulu sikhule letulu. Happy birthday Wikipedia.
Hartelijk veel geluk Wikipedia met jullie 20ste bestaansjaar. Ons kyk na die volgende 100 jaar van sukses op Wikipedia. En lekker verjaar.
Lotshani sitjhaba saka Wikipedia. Lo okhulumayo nguClement. Ngithi ilanga elihle lamabeletho. Ngiyezwa bathi nigidinga iminyaka ema-20. Nginifisela konke okuhle. Sithokoze umberego wenu omuhle eniwenzako ukuthuthukisa iSouth Africa. Siyathokoza.
Ra go tlotse nna tsa lefatshe re ntse re lakatsa ka tlaole mahlonono mokgatlo nno hola o sike bana ba batsho o sike ka o fera o nne o re hodise haholo le bona ba ntseng ba iketsetsa ka mesebetsi ya matsoho re ntse re lakatsa ka tlaole mahlonono o fera go tlotse nna tsa lefatshe ga butsa ya mahlonono ke o ha o hole mokgatlo re ntse re rata ka o fera.
Sanibonani, igama ubongani. Besithanda ukubongela iWikipedia noma ikhasi leWikipedia njengoba lizolihlanganisa iminyaka engamashumi 20. Sithanda ukubonga-ke nabo bonke abaye baxhasa ekutheni-ke lokhu kuyimpumelelo. iWikipedia okuyikhasi elisilulekayo, okuyikhasi elisihlinzeka ngolwazi, ngosozindaba, ulwazi ngabantu bethu esibathandayo, ihlwele zethu zakuma-sports kanye nakho konke nje ungacabanga nje ngolwazi. Asibongeke kubo bonke abaye baxhasa, bathatha isikhathi sabo baxhasa. Sithi-ke njengoba sigubha iminyaka engamashumi 20, ayikhuli iWikipedia kanye nabahlinzeki bayo kanye nabantu abafaka ulwazi. Sifisela konke okuhle njengo-Wikipedia hlanganisa iminyaka.
Veel geluk op jullie 20ste verjaarsdag Wikipedia en ik hoop jullie het nog vele jaren en eeuwen hoor om artikels met ons te delen.
Wow, wow, wow. Am I the only one who felt like I was watching the historical Sarafina film? Zulu is so interesting to watch. I like the passion. So, Bobby, could you help us interpret some of those nice conversations? Just tell us in a nutshell what they were talking about.
Okay, so what had happened was that they were wishing these were editors of Wikipedia and readers of Wikipedia. We have decided to go out to the streets and ask them, different people to just wish Wikipedia a happy birthday and some experienced Wikipedians. They were just voicing their views in wishing Wikipedia in different South African languages. We have 11 official South African languages, and I think only 2 are missing actually. So yeah. This guy was speaking in Ndebele. These ones were speaking in Lesotho, and this one was speaking in Zulu, wishing Wikipedia, a happy birthday and how it helped him. And yeah, so the messages were around those narratives. Thanks, over to you.
Thank you, Bobby, for that. So I have the pleasure of introducing our second panel. And I'm so excited for this next conversation. We have Euphemia from Nigeria. We have, I'm not sure if I'm spelling it right. We have Gemi Sola from Nigeria as well. We have Reda from Algeria. and we have Sami Mloi from Tunisia, and of course we still have Rudolph in this end as well. So thank you so much and welcome to this conversation. So I will start it off with gentleman Sam. So welcome, please share your thoughts. Tell us what notable achievements you've had for the time you've been in the community, how long you've been there, and also highlight some of the challenges that you face in your community. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Sami Mlohi from Tunisia. I've been Wikimedian for more than 6 years. Now I'm part of affiliation committee, and I'm the president of Wikimedia Tunisia. And I'm here today to celebrate with you the 20th birthday of Wikipedia. Can I explain or present a quick overview about what Wikimedia Tunisia achieved in the last year?
Yeah, sure, you can.
So as you know, this year was exceptional for Wikimedia Tunisia, and our activity was mainly held online because of the in-person meeting ban and a national lockdown took place locally. We have launched a pilot project called the Wiki Weekend project. Actually, it's a live broadcast during which we discussed the relation between Wikimedia project and different topics. The first edition was called Wikimedia, Media and the Digital Movement. We invited the famous digital manager to debate about how to prevent misinformation and wrong propaganda from traditional media or social media to Wikipedia and vice versa. How can a private digital manager be neutral when he or she creates article for her or his clients? Second edition was an interview with the Wikimedian of the year, Sandista, and it was an opportunity to celebrate this African award and to ask Sandy some questions suggested by the Tunisian community. After that, we have organized a session about the relation of Wikipedia and heritage. Experts and members of NGOs were present to share their concern of how an encyclopedia can save and protect the human heritage. We had the chance to discover a few initiatives using Wikimedia project in this field, for instance, Medinapedia project or Wikixur that use Wikidata. Also, we have host a special edition for Francophone contributors to talk about their experience with the lockdown and how staying at home for a long period affect their productivity in terms of edition. The fifth weekend was dedicated to Al-Marifa project. If I can translate it into English, the Knowledge Project. It's a competition organized in partnership with Google to write articles in Arabic, and our affiliate member Wael was there to support the idea and help it in the organization. And for the last Wiki Weekend of 2020, we have invited Stephen from Kiwik's team, and we discussed the value of the offline version of Wikipedia, mainly in the region where accessibility to the internet is limited. In fact, it's about putting the content of Wikipedia and the related project like medicine into an USB device and make it available for user totally or partially deprived from internet connection. The second part achieved by Wikimedia Tunisia was the Wiki Challenge African Schools. Our board member and vice chair Afak took the lead of this competition, which is dedicated to children who are between 9 and 30 years old. The main goal was to learn how to create articles in Wikipedia. Wikipedia is a simplified version of Wikipedia dedicated for children. This project was a partnership with the Orange Foundation. Finally, and unfortunately, 2020 was the year where when Wikimedia Tunisia is supposed to host the Wiki Convention Francophone in Tunis, but we were obliged to postpone it and to the next year, this year, because of the sanitary conditions. I hope that I was brief and quick. I send you the greeting from Tunisia.
Thank you, Sami. Yes, you did quite well. That is really great, incredible. Well done and keep up the good job. I will move to Euphemia. Euphemia is one of the most active members in Wikipedia. I see a lot of engagement in the Wiki for Sustainable Development. And in the last quarter of last year, she was one of the top contributors in the Wiki Labs SDGs editathon. So Euphemia, welcome. In Nairobi, we say karibu sana. So share your thoughts about your engagement in the Wikipedia community.
Thank you, Winnie. Hello, everyone. I'm Euphemia Uwanzu from Wikimedia User Group Nigeria, and I'm currently speaking from the southeastern part of the country, a city called Owerri to be precise. I'm a volunteer and the head of a new Wikimedia hub in the same city. One of my greatest achievements in the movement has been about mobilizing a group of young people to constitute the new Wikimedia hub Owerri. When I first joined the movement about 3 years ago, I noticed that we didn't have any visibility within that region, and that was a concern to me. So I had to bring into action to make sure that we are represented in that region. And that has, even though has been very challenging, has been one of the best decisions I ever made. And I also was one of the participants in the Wiki Loves SDG, where I emerged as one of the winners of that online editing. Another of the key projects I participated in was the 2020 Wiki for Climate online editing, where we had a diverse team members, and we engaged them climate change professionals to improve climate-related articles. And another one I would like to talk about was attending the 2019 Wiki in Daba, where I met most of the Wikimedians, like Anthony, Bobby, Sam, and the rest of us who are now here. And one of the things that really got me endeared to the community was the very fact that they do what they do with their heart. It's not really every day you get to meet people who do what they do with their heart in a volunteer capacity, and that was quite very amazing. And I noticed that even though sometimes we join the movement without having that attitude to do what we're doing, but there's this addiction that comes with being part of the community. But I wouldn't like to just go on and talk about one of my greatest achievements. I'd like to talk about what our user group has achieved as a community, because part of what has brought us so far is our teamwork. We're always stronger together. We do what we do as a team. Being a user group that started in 2014, we've been able to do a whole lot of projects and engagement. Can I share the slides now, please? Next slide, please. Thank you. So the Wikimedia User Group Nigeria was a journey that was started by 3 people in 2014, and they are Olushola Olamiyan, Isaac Olatunde, and Kayode Yusuf. And in about the same year, Kayode and Olushola conceived a very first project titled the Adopt a School series, where they targeted high school students and their computer and language teachers. The essence of this project was to teach the state population about the basic common licenses and how to create simple websites using Mozilla WebMaker tools. The project lasted a period of 5 weeks, where it was held once every week. By the end of that training, the students of one of the selected schools Alimosho Junior Grammar School was able to jointly create their school page on English Wikipedia. In 2015, we were recognized as an affiliate by the Affiliation Committee on 15th September. And as an affiliate, Wikipedia means certain things to us. Aside from being the world's largest online encyclopedia, it is a mirror through which we see how much about us the world knows. Through most of our content on art, science, politics, entertainment, music, animals, parents, and so much more. It is also a platform through which we get to know how much of our stories have been written by outsiders who perceive us as we are not, and they need for us to rewrite our history. It also allows us to see the extent of systemic bias against the African women and the need for us to work tirelessly to change this narrative by encouraging African women to come out and make themselves known through their work, empowerment, and capacity development programs. Next slide, please. Then in 2016, we had our maiden edition of Wiki Loves Monument, which is an annual international photographic contest for monuments driven by Wikimedia communities across the globe. On 23rd August 2017, we launched the Wiki Women Radio program in partnership with the first female-oriented radio station in Sub-Saharan Africa. This program actually brought about over 50 Nigerian women from all walks of life to feature in the program since the inception. And the core reason was to actually increase the level of awareness of Wikimedia projects, to encourage the donation of women-related content, and to increase the number of women contributors to Wikimedia projects. And this was actually another way that gave us a privilege to help to address the issue of gender gap, which is also existing in our own community and the whole of Africa, as you heard in the presentations today. Next slide, please. And then still in 2017, we initiated Wikimedia hubs in about 9 states in Nigeria. Some of these states are Lagos, Ogun, Oyo, Kwara, Edo, FCT, Ekiti State, Kano, and Katsina. And presently, we have a new hub in the southeastern part of the country in Owerri and Enugu. This initiative, the start of the Wikimedia Hub, is a way for us to address the issue of addressing some of our stories that are not written by us. Because sometimes it's best for people that reside in these various parts of the country to be the ones to address the issue of this content, to write this content on Wikipedia, because they are the ones that are living there. They are the ones that understand what their life is all about in this place. So it was really a major success and a good decision we took there. Next. Then as we grow bigger, we understand that there was need for us to be a legal entity, because it should give us the opportunity to enter into legal contracts, the opportunity to sue and be sued when necessary. And because of this realization, we moved towards being registered as a non-profit organization known as Wikimedia Nigeria Foundation in Nigeria on 31st October 2018. And that brought us a lot of opportunities and privileges on many fronts. Next slide. Then in 2018, we started the Wiki Fan Club program in partnership with Nigerian Tertiary Institution, with a first club in Ekiti State University, Southwest Nigeria. And in about the same year, we still had our second edition of Wiki Loves Monument. And in 2018, we won the African Excellency Award for the best NGO in Africa, owing to our campaign about Wikipedia in Nigeria. This campaign came in the form of an ad video, which was created by the Wikimedia Foundation in partnership with our user group, where we tried to create a sort of awareness about Wikipedia with that video. And within a space of 3 months, we had a record-breaking 17 million viewers across all social media platforms. And actually what prompted this decision to engage on this campaign was our research in 2016, where we realized that we had a low awareness of Wikipedia in Nigeria. Then in 2017, we sprung into action to embark on this campaign, and that brought us this award in 2018. Next slide, please. Then in 2019, on 7th February, we had our first, Black History Month in collaboration with AfroCrowd, Oregon State University, and Federal University of Agriculture, Abeokuta, where we celebrated the achievements of African Americans, which came in the form of a discussion by all participating partners. Next, please. Then on 1st June 2019, we had Wiki Loves Earth in partnership with Nigerian Tourism Development Corporation and Plus TV Africa, who featured as the financial and media partner for this very project. In 2019, we had our third edition of Wiki Loves Monument, which saw over 2,500 free licensed images uploaded to Wikimedia Commons at the local level. Next slide, please. Then on 1st to 15th July, we had a Lagos Municipal Photo Walk. This was an event that brought together over 30 professional photographers who went around Lagos to take images of Lagos municipalities and uploaded them under free license on Wikimedia Commons. And this helped us to bridge the gap we had on Lagos municipalities at that time. Then on 17 July 2019, we had a Nigerian Strategy Youth Salon at the Federal University of Agriculture, Abeokuta, where we trained students on how to edit Wikipedia and contribute to other Wikimedia projects. In the past, our engagement with this same institution has just been with their librarians and teachers. So this was about the very first project we had contact with the students, and they were really excited about it. Next slide, please. Then one of the key strengths we exhibit in our user group is in collaboration and partnership. We've done a lot of collaboration and partnership with this listed organization in the past, presently, and we tend to do more in the future because this is a way that brings out a lot of success and a lot of strength. And some of the stated organizations here are the ones we did collaborations with. I don't want to dive into stuff mentioning it, but we can all see it from the slide. It's going to take me a whole lot to do that. Next slide, please. This is also a continuation of some of those organizations we did collaborations with. And again, one of the ways we have contributed to some of the major languages in Nigeria, the Hausa, Yoruba, and Igbo language, is through partnership with these languages who are user groups on their own. We collaborate with them to translate articles on English Wikipedia to the various languages. And that has helped us to really touch the other language Wikipedia that is related to our region.
Thank you,
Like
Euphemia. Euphemia, I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to cut
we
you
started
short. Sorry, Euphemia, I'm gonna have to cut you short because we are running out of time and we still have 2 more presentations from Algeria. So thank you for that. That is quite commendable and keep up the good work. So I'm going to move to Reda in Algeria. Welcome, Reda.
Hello, Penny. Do you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Welcome. Please share your
Okay.
thoughts, your notable achievements
Yeah.
and challenges that you face.
I will try to be brief. I think I will be brief. I will talk about 3 projects that we are proud in the last year. The first of one is that we have create the Teshawit, the first language community to find itself on a project other than Wikipedia. Maybe you don't know, the Teshawit is the Berber language spoken in Algeria by the Shawi people. It's a North African language, ethnic. Dictionary in Teshawit started in 2015 and become active after the Wikimedia conference in Berlin in 2018, when a group of Wikimedians from North Africa, including myself, decided to found the Tamazight user group. This user group worked on a project in Tamazight language and about Tamazight culture. It's all the North African culture, not Arabic culture, but Tamazight culture. We started with the Teshawit because it is the closest to me. It's our historical and native language. Before, we started with the French dictionary. We put the words in this dictionary, and then we migrate all of them into the Teshawit incubator. A lot of people ask me why you start with the dictionary, not the Wikipedia. It's because during the Wiki Indaba in Tunis, I was in a session where 2 contributors from France give an example of Teshawit words in the dictionary in French in their presentation. It made me happy, and at the same time, I was surprised that someone noticed the work. After the event, our group started to translate the incubator in this language, and we have done a lot of things to get the incubator off the ground. The most hard of us now is to find the new contributors for this new language project. We have realized some things, some other things, as you have showed in the first session, my video about the MOOC of the incubator. We have realized it with the support of Wikimedia France and the Teshawit translator from the USA. We have also created a very simple Android application who duplicate the incubator Teshawit pages. You can see it in your mobile phone. So that helped us to promote this project. The second project I want to thought about is a sort of a photo and editing contest called the Wiki Nomad. This project has a different approach because the project takes 10 young people on a trip in an unknown region of Algeria, and we supervise them to produce articles on the large topic about the culture, about gastronomy, geography, music, fauna, flora, all the topic around this place. And after that, we get photos and articles and a trip. So a good experience for these young people, and we attract them to be a part of Wikipedia in different languages. And the last project that we start is as Nasima talk about in the first session, the Wiki about villages in North Africa. My friend Yahwi Ahmed Khaled Zinu start a trip when the COVID starts and stay over 1 month in the south of Algeria, in the Sahara, to explore this Sur by himself. I'm afraid to make a mistake. Zinu, I think he took over than 10,000 photos. These photos are uploaded not completely on Commons, but I think the next week he can do it. And the last thing, like in Tunisia, we planned to organize the Wiki Arabia, but the pandemic has stopped us. But the Algerian youth group will propose to the Arab-speaking community an online alternative. If it would be okay, we will start it. And maybe one day we will plan to organize a future North African conference too with our colleagues. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Breda, for that. That is quite great. I'm seeing actually some comments regarding your presentation, and someone is actually saying, let me share that, project that, Wiki, sorry. Someone is saying the Wiki Nomad, that is so awesome. What a great project. That's Douglas. So that's really, really great. So thank you so much for that, Reda. I'll move now to Gabiola. Gabiola, welcome. Thank you for joining us. Please give us your insights on how long you've been in the movement, what are some of your notable achievements. Demisola, can you hear me? Hello, Gemisola, are you there? Okay, I think she can't hear us. So I'll just take a moment, read some of the comments, and if she won't be around, I think we will pass over and move on to, is it Reda? Yamin, sorry, Yamin. So,
hello, Winnie.
Hello.
Hi. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Yamin. Welcome.
Hi, everyone. I'm happy to be here with you. I'm Yamin from Tunisia. First of all, big thanks to Andrew and Richard for the idea and logistic, and big thank you for Winnie, Bobby, and Justice for making this happen. So I'm here to talk about projects that have been launched last year on the 18th of May on the International Museum Day. And because Wiki loves museum, so we had this idea to launch a website called Makumbushu. Makumbushu means museum in Swahili. And the idea is to document all the museums in Africa. I'm going to share my screen to show you the website. So this is makumbushu.wiki. So here, this is a map generated automatically from Wikidata, showing the list of the museums in Africa. So we started this in the 18th of May 2020, as I said, in the International Museum Day, and we noticed on that day that 47% of the museum on Wikidata that do not have an article on English Wikipedia. 66% of museum in Wikidata also don't have article on French Wikipedia, and 65 don't have article on Arabic Wikipedia. And we have also these similar figures in other African languages like Swahili and other languages. So this map shows the list of museum, and in red, the list of museum that don't have article on Wikipedia, in green, the museum that have article on Wikipedia. And we can switch from one language to another to see the gap also between the museums in Africa. So this project, Makumbushu, is part of a big project called Wiki Loves Museum. The first step is to document all the museums in Africa on Wikipedia. Then the second step is to document the collections related to these museums. So the idea is to have articles about the items displayed in the museums. And also the third step is to to record an audio files for this article, so we can hear the user or can hear read the article, can hear the article. And the last step is to make to generate mobile application for all the museums in Africa based on the article on Wikipedia and the audio files that we recorded. So basically, at the end, every museum in Africa should have its own mobile application based on the articles on Wikipedia and connected through Wikidata and their comments. So this is the idea of the project. So on the next 18th of May, we will do the first assessment after the first year, and we'll see the new figures. And we are also progressing on the application, the mobile application, with the Wik's colleagues from the Wik's application. So it will be an offline mobile application. And I would like also to thanks Wikimedia Tanzania and Wikimedia Hausa user group for supporting this project. And I'm sure that at the end of this project, all the museums Africa will be documented, well documented. All the Wikipedians from Africa will join and document their museum in their country. So we won't have at the end any museum not documented, and we shouldn't worry about that. So Hakuna Matata. So everything will be on Wikipedia. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Yamen. Indeed, Hakuna Matata. That is such an incredible project, and there's a lot of comments regarding that coming in. Let me share some of those so that we all can see them. There's Ola Mahandi saying great project, Yamen. Bloody Honey says, hi, Yamen. And we have Osmal Jamal, who says, thank you all for sharing knowledge and helping humanity to go forward. Knowledge is power. Indeed, Jamal, knowledge is power. We have Norma Butu, sorry, let me get that. Thanks, great project. Norma Bantu says, hi, Yamen, this is fabulous. Well done for getting such an important project rolling. So that is really great. There's Bloody Honey again asking for producers to drop the URL into the chat.
It's
that is awesome. Makumbusho.wiki.
Makumbusho means museum in Swahili.
Yes, or memory. So Anthony Mutavangu, who was one of our panelists earlier, also says Hakuna Matata Yamen. He likes that.
Thank you, Anthony. Anthony was one of the first supporters of the project, and I'm really happy to work with him on this project.
Great. So that is really great, guys. Thank you so much. So there was a question earlier for Rudolph, and I would like to just share that just now as we close the panel discussion and move on to the closing remarks, where I will hand over to Nasima to take over that session. But before then, let me locate the question that had been directed to Rudolph, and that's based on his recent capacity as partnerships. Just a moment. So here it goes. You talk about, and I quote, you talk about amplifying the work of the African affiliates. How are you doing this? How do we know that this is the impact of the work of the partnerships team?
Yes, thank you, Winnie. And that's indeed a great question.
And are you responsible? Sorry to cut you short. Let me just join it with the second one. And are you responsible for the whole of Africa? Thank you.
Yes, stemming, I'll take the second question first. Stemming from the initial, conversation and question subsequent to, that categorization of Sub-Saharan Africa and North Africa, indeed focusing on a unified Africa. This is something that we share with all of you, indeed, that Africa is one. But currently, I handle the southern part of Africa. So with the current description of sub-Saharan Africa, there are teams that handle North Africa. Jack Rapper, who has a deeper understanding of that region. Moving to the first question, in terms of amplifying the work of affiliates. One of the things that, after talking with some of the communities, Ghana, South Africa, Nigeria, one of the things we noticed was, or I noticed was, um, building capacity for newcomers, and bringing in experts within different industries. And so one of the things that I've been looking to do with institutional partners is to bring in individuals or professionals within industries like filmmaking, creative arts, languages, who would come into the Wikimedia movement, where affiliates could collaborate with them to generate knowledge that is most relevant to them or that they are passionate about. And so one of these organizations, and I think we did have a brief conversation with Wikimedia Nigeria about this, who led Afro Scene a couple of months ago, which had tremendous contributions, is the Africa Narrative, that focuses on filmmaking and creative industry. And they have a deep network of artisans and professionals within that space in Africa. And so the goal is to collaborate with them to introduce their networks to the Wikimedia network, so that they can then participate with their knowledge, with their experiences. Because looking at some of the comments from this, you realize that some people might not know what Wikipedia is from the videos that we've seen. And so it's worth reaching out to some of these organizations that have deep networks of professionals to support or work with affiliates. And so that's when we think about that, that is some of the things that we are looking at in terms of supporting the affiliates. So whenever you come across some of these individuals, I believe that it's a direct impact. But also, I'm very happy to talk to anyone who feels that there are some specific guidance or support that we could focus on in order to amplify the work that affiliates are doing. Because again, knowledge doesn't sit with one person, but it sits with a multitude of persons, and Wikipedia has been one of the projects that has shown that. And so I am really happy to just from time to time I do reach out to affiliates, but I'm definitely looking forward to reaching out to more and more affiliates on the continent to try and understand what the nuances look like and what the partnerships needs are, by understanding the challenges there and seeing how we can surface collaborations that bring value to the work that affiliates are doing.
Thank you so much, Rudolph, for that. I will read just two more comments and then we close this panel. Someone says, I'm a member, Kyra, I'm a member of Wikimedia New York City, and I've edited since 2007, but been active since 2016. Happy anniversary, Wikipedia, Wiki 20. I also contribute to AfroCrowd. So that was more of a comment. Thank you for your contribution, Kyra. It is indeed valued. Someone was saying, sorry, the comments are flying in before I pick one, it jumps. So Bloody Honey once again is asking, how comes there's only one chapter in Africa? Who wants to take that? Anyone ready to respond to that? Rudolph?
Unmute myself. I think this is more of an affiliate question. As anyone and everyone is welcome to contribute to Wikipedia, form groups to advance topics or knowledge that they are passionate about. So based on what I know about the movement, it's generally a collective of individuals who come together to form. And then there are a number of things that these groups would need to work towards to get to chaptership, and so I think that's also there's a committee for that, and so I think maybe Bobby could speak to that and share their experience or their journey to get into chaptership, or anyone who has insights to that.
Thank you, Rudolph. I'm also seeing a response from the chat with regarding to that. And it says there's been a freeze on any new chapters for a while now. So that is part of the explanation. So thank you very much to our great panel. I see I have a new moderator in the block has joined. So thank you so much for your time. We really do appreciate. So I'm going to hand over to Nasima, who is going to give us the closing remarks. But thank you again for everyone who's joined in to our panel. Thank you. Hope to see you again soon. Over to you, Nasima.
Thank you, Winnie, and all the panelists for your inspiring presentation. Actually, personally, I feel very humbled and very blessed to belong to this wonderful community. And as we started on a cheerful note with Bobby's song, we will end on another cheerful note. This time it will not be a song because my voice is horrible, but there is no celebration without a cake. So I brought a cake for Wikipedia. This colorful and layered cake actually reminds me of the Wikipedia and Wikimedia community, because each one of us is unique, is different, but all together we constitute a harmonious and wonderful entity. And I would like to remind you that while we are celebrating now and while we are speaking and discussing, there are many African countries that are still underrepresented in Wikimedia. And I really hope that by the 21st anniversary of Wikipedia, we will have many more countries that joined us. And I hope that this celebration and these discussions will trigger the interest of many other people to join us. So if you are readers of Wikipedia, if you are new editors, please join us and document your countries and your cultures. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Nasima, for that. I was hoping you will lead us into a song as we blow off that candle.
I have the cake.
You can cut it as we sing.
My voice is horrible. You won't be.
Bobby will help you sing.
Hear me singing. Yeah, go on, Bobby.
So I'm gonna play piano again.
Yes.
I'm not sure if you can hear the piano. I'm sitting in front of the piano. I'm gonna play a popular song now, not an African song. Happy birthday, Wikipedia. Happy birthday, Wikipedia. Happy birthday, Wikipedia. Happy birthday to you.
Yay! That was really great. Thank you. Thank you for everyone who's joined this conversation, this celebration. We do appreciate. So I will hand it over to Bobby if you have anything additional to say. If not, we will call it a night. Thank you so much for Andrew, who was helping us in the technical aspect, and Richard also was very well behind the scenes. We do appreciate. Justice, Bobby, good job.
There's nothing from my end, and I'd like to thank everyone that attended, everyone that has helped organize this, and thank you so much. Over to you, Winnie. Thanks. Over to you, Justice.
Justice?
Yeah, so I want to say thank you to everyone that joined us, to the panel. We are grateful to Rudolph for the time of your busy schedule to join us. And for me, I'm celebrating with a Ghanaian beer in hand. So cheers to you all.
Cheers, cheers, cheers. So thank you so much, everyone. Yes, and enjoy your evening.
Thank
You just
you.
had to take a
And
sip.
happy birthday, Wikipedia.
Bye. Happy birthday, Wikipedia.